Hi, I'm Adam.
And I'm Rob.
And welcome to episode 38 of the Screen Bucket Podcast.
Yes, and on a very stormy Valentine's Day weekend at point of recording.
Yes, very stormy. It seems like we're in literally ever since we watched The Lighthouse. We've been in a constant storm. The wind has changed.
Yes, Storm Kira and then Storm Dennis. And yeah, how effective for such a film.
To actually affect the weather.
Yes.
Yes, so The Lighthouse, we've been waiting to see this for so long now. We finally got to see it last weekend. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say. We went deep into it in analysis mode for our Patreon exclusive Screen Bucket Night Shift last week. So if you want to know kind of our in-depth thoughts, it's all there. Do check it out at patreon.com/holidaymedia. But, bullet point, amazing.
Amazing, and yeah, your Melissa and Mike, they weren't too fond of it.
No.
Spoke to someone else at work whose parents went to see it, and they hated it. It's an acquired taste.
Yeah,
do you have to be arty? Do you have to have gone to the university?
Well, Mike kept saying arty. I don't think it's an arty film.
No.
I just think it doesn't give in. It doesn't give you everything. Here you go, eat, feast, feast on all of our stuff. It sort of makes you go, yeah, try a bit of toast. Come on, have a look. Come on, have a look at this. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that David Lynch kind of, come on in, have a look around.
Dip your toes in the strangeness of this movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, is it arty because it's black and white? Is that what's confusing people?
It's the aperture and it's the lighting and it's the black and whiteness. And the fact that there's only two people see it as like an art performance because there's no one else in it for the vast majority of the film.
But the story's pretty straightforward. I suppose there's also the fact that there's unreliable narrator stuff going on. There's lots of...
You have to think as well and trying to figure it out.
There's lots of gaslighting. There's lots of like... Yeah, but you've been saying this for weeks. Huh? Has he? What? Like, huh?
I thought it was yesterday. Yeah, that sort of thing.
Yeah, which I suppose you have to keep on your toes. But try harder, audience.
Yeah, like it, for goodness sake.
Ugh. But yes.
Yeah.
Really, really enjoyed it. So it won't be a review this week. But if you want to hear our thoughts, yes. Once again, the Screen Bucket Night Shift.
Indeed.
Yes, indeed. So yeah, it's Valentine's Day weekend.
It certainly is.
Happy Valentine's, Rob.
No.
Oh.
Or if... no. Yes. Valentine's Day annoyed me at work.
I've drawn you a heart.
Thanks, mate. People spend so much money on Valentine's Day these days. You can't just be carding flowers.
Here we go.
No, I just don't understand.
Get off my lawn, kids.
£150.
What on what?
On Valentine's someone spent. Yeah. Just bollocks.
What, on a meal or?
Meal, jewellery.
Oh, okay, right. The whole thing. There's one person at work who received a box the size of... What could you carry in a box this big? It was...
Labrador.
A small Labrador.
Right.
Definitely a human baby.
Right.
Would fit in this box. She received it. She went running to reception to go get it. Came back up. Immediately surrounded by women.
Oh.
Exactly the same as what happens when a baby gets brought into the office instantly.
Really?
They all gather round, smiling. Exactly the same facial things. All looking at this woman unpackage this box from her fiance. Yeah. Oh my god. I was far away. I didn't get up. But she pulled out roses, perfume, makeup, stuff, and a massive card the size of a book, which had a poem that she read out, and they all started crying.
No.
Yeah.
No. No. You know, no, I'm being a curmudgeon. It's lovely, isn't it? Whatever.
It is. That public display thing's where it crosses the line for me. There's also the... If she didn't get it, I bet she would have been furious.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. That's the subtext. There was another woman I used to work with who, if she didn't have flowers on her desk on Valentine's Day, she was livid.
Really?
Angry.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So don't mess with these people. They show their stuff off because if it didn't have it, they'd be furious.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
But I like Valentine's. I think it's good.
Yeah.
It's a good excuse for people who have lots of complicated things to find time to get together and all that sort of stuff.
Well, I had a Valentine's Day.
Oh.
Yeah. So Valentine's Day is when you gather your single friends together and do things, drink. It was effectively a night out, but it filled the gap.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what it was. It was just a
Were
night
there
out.
lots of... Did you see other groups of single men and single women doing the same thing?
There were a few. Yeah. Of trying to force themselves into some form of romance.
Oh,
I don't know. Yeah. It's a predicament, isn't it?
Well, why didn't they do... You know what I never see in real life? You see it on TV all the time. Speed dating. Why aren't pubs doing Valentine's Day speed dating events?
The world has changed. People,
Well, whatever, or some
times
equivalent of.
change. They should do, but I think that's a thing of the past now, speed dating, isn't it?
Is it?
People look at it as something that's maybe a bit pathetic and sad, especially when you've got dating apps. You can just go on
I
there.
would say it's better than a dating app.
Oh, yeah.
Less
It's more
evil.
exciting.
Well, yeah, exactly,
It's a
yeah.
lot more exciting.
You get chemistry, you get the actual physical response.
Yeah, there's some joy and excitement in it, as opposed to I find that dating apps do suck the living life out of you over a period of time, leaving you a husk.
I think I warned you of this when you first started getting into it. Like, yeah, it's fun now, but
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is brilliant. Oh, this is great.
after a while, you're gonna hate everything about it.
Why has she swiped right and not spoken to me?
Yeah, what is that about?
Why won't you respond to me? Yeah, and so forth.
And then you worry about every word.
Yeah. You could just say the most normal thing ever.
But that's pretty boring. That's too boring.
Yeah.
You have to add some cats in there.
Do you know, once I was speaking to a girl and we were getting on really well, and I started talking about us doing 31 Days of Horror, which we did last October, folks. And she said, oh, I'd like to see one. Showed her one. That was that.
Yeah, but that's good. I think that's a good thing, because if that's a good, like...
It filters it out, doesn't
Yeah.
it? It filters it out.
So when I was using Dana, I think I used Stream Bucket. I went, oh, listen to that.
Yeah.
But most of the time, it was quite positive. It didn't... They carried on.
Yeah.
Hello, if you're still listening. That would be a bit awkward, wouldn't it? But yeah, this stuff is... hobbies and things and interests are useful tools to get rid of people.
Yeah. The ones you know you're not going to
Exactly.
have a connection with.
Even in a non-dating world, like there's a girl in work who, you know, we were doing that hobby showcase thing that we were talking about before.
Right.
And she went, so what do you do? Explained to her. And she went, oh, yeah, I'm not interested.
Oh.
And walked away. And I went, okay, great. I didn't waste any time.
Brilliant. Fantastic.
These things, like anything, are there things that are guaranteed to turn people away, though?
I don't like it if girls mention about how much they like dogs. But that's just a dating app thing. That's what they always say.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah, there's some overused dating app tropes.
Want to go and looking to find that guy to have the next adventure with.
Yeah.
If you have a dog, I'm swiping right.
I love
Blah,
travelling.
Cheese is my spirit animal. Stuff like that. I don't know.
Oh, God. Yeah, I can see all of these.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah. But then
There's
guys,
a picture of me with an elephant.
Guys, I don't know what girls have as an issue on their Tinder.
I told you, didn't I? I once had a really bad Plenty of Fish date, I think it was.
So when you swapped
We
Tinder?
swapped phones and we swiped it for each other.
Yeah.
It is different.
Okay.
Men... Let me think back now. They see... the way I remember it, they tend to just be blokes.
Right.
They weren't doing elephants and things. They were mostly just like standing...
Here I am. Here's me next to my car.
I'm in a shirt.
I'm in a shirt.
Yeah.
I'm smart. I've got my stuff together.
Check me out, I've got my arm around a mate.
Yeah.
Having a great time.
Oh.
Yeah. Perfect.
I've got both feet on the ground. My life is sorted out.
But they, like, genuinely, almost 90% of them were just that.
Mm.
And I was always, when I remember thinking, I was always really cautious, like, looking at what women were putting on, going, I need to be doing that weird stuff. There's pictures of me in costume.
Yeah.
And there's I don't know.
Anyway, what are we talking about on the show today?
Okay, well, we've obviously covered Valentine's feelings, but we've got a special rom-zom-com classic to talk about in depth.
First Simon Pegg, first rom-zom-com, Braindead.
Yes, 1992's Braindead by Peter Jackson. Oh, it's the best film ever.
It is the best film ever. It's amazing.
We'll be going into depth on that. We'll cover a little bit about kind of what we've been watching anyway, shortly. What else?
Well, we're going to do Fortnite Schmort Night. We're going to be talking about some new stuff coming out. Oscars.
Oh, the Oscars was last week.
The Oscars. Yeah. Some... Maybe... now that I've seen Parasite, not shocked. We'll get into that later, though.
Yeah. Cool.
Green Bucket, Adam and Rob.
Poor Ralph. Here you go, Ralph. You choose me? Happy Valentine's.
Well, lots and lots of stuff has come out all of a sudden. Have you noticed this?
What?
Loads of things. Right at the end of Jan, everything came out.
Oh, well, there's Harley Quinn and Sonic the Hedgehog. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that stuff, but also like the finale of BoJack Horseman.
Oh, yeah.
Did you never watch BoJack Horseman?
No, I need to get back on it. I will. People are going mental about it online, aren't they?
It's finished now. It's not a spoiler to say that the ending is a bit of an anticlimax in one respect, but it's absolutely perfect in another.
Okay.
So it's hard to tell. Some people are really annoyed about it. Some people absolutely love it. The whole show is incredible. I was watching a philosophy video on it on YouTube about how it kind of deals with stories, and they always make a big point from episode 1 about how they don't really like endings, about the joys, the doing, the journey.
Right.
So that kind of pays off with the ending, I think.
Okay.
You kind of get everything you need by watching the show. You don't have to build up to a big explosive finale, which I think is pretty good actually. Looking back at it, makes sense.
Oh, good.
So yes, I would recommend anyone pick it up, as long as you've got a fairly sturdy.
It's going to crush me a few times, isn't it?
Yeah.
Emotionally. Yeah, no.
Brilliant.
Totally will get on that. I watched the film Jungle the other day.
Jungle.
With Daniel Radcliffe. Daniel Radcliffe plays an annoying hipster travelling through South America. He meets more annoying hipsters, and they do hipster things with the natives and the locals and look really smug about it and feel self-important. And then they meet a strange man who says he's going to take them on an private expedition, and they're going to find loads of gold.
What? Don't do that.
And they're going to be rich. So they trust him. They fly somewhere, then they go deep into the jungle. They build a raft because one of the hipsters' feet gets really badly blistered. Okay. So they try and get out using the river.
Okay.
Then the raft crashes, and Daniel Radcliffe is separated from the rest of them. And it's him wandering around the jungle for 2 weeks, getting more and more poisoned and battered and gooey and grim. And
all right.
It starts off as a really annoying, pretentious hipster film, and then the second half is absolutely amazing. But there's an effect in it that is as there as anything in Braindead. He has to take a leech out of a blob in his head, and he has to cut it open, and he has to dig around in the hole and then pull the leech out, and it looks so real. And then he has to squash the gooey, squidgy, thick blood plasma infection out afterwards. And then afterwards there's a montage of snakes and a giant spider comes up on the screen. And I screamed and screamed because I had the laptop right close to my face.
What is this on?
Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely worth a watch. It surprised me.
Cool.
Yeah.
I tell you what, the other thing I watched was, well, you might be able to hear in my voice. I've not been that well the last week, so I've been binge watching documentaries, as is the way when you're sick. I binge watched all of Terry Jones's stuff that I could find on YouTube. This guy, we sang his praises the other week, but this guy was an incredibly talented documentary guy. Incredibly funny, charming. He could make anything sound interesting, and often did. There's so much on YouTube. It's free. It's available. Everyone should watch it. The history of the number one, in particular, really, really impressive.
Yeah, when I read the title, I was like, this looks really boring. And then you showed me a bit of it now, and it's really interesting.
It's it's about how it all comes together. And then I got onto Ancient Aliens.
Of course.
And binge watched all of that on Netflix.
Oh dear.
Oh. Yeah. It feels like I've been on some sort of detox camp and I've been rewired.
Nice.
Did you know that Apollo is named Apollo in the Greeks and the Romans and is referenced in Viking mythology?
Oh, that means aliens are real.
Yeah, it means Apollo was an alien and travelled around.
That's cool. I like that.
He even told the Greeks that he was off to the Northlands.
Oh, did he now?
Yeah.
Oh. Good old Apollo the alien.
What? It's all real! Although it's not. What really bugs me is whenever they talk about bloody constructions and stuff. There's no way that someone in the 14th century could have built this. Why?
Yeah.
They had a lot more free time.
Lots of free time. They mapped the stars. They could do it. It's easy. What else were they doing?
It kind of infuriates me. It's some sort of I don't know, what's the word? Snobbery? Elitism? There's no way they could do it, because we'd struggle now.
They're more or less Neanderthals.
Exactly, whatever. Anyway, have you watched anything else?
Who knows?
Okay.
Nothing springs to mind.
Alright, let's go into the first of my reviews then. Adam's Film Reviews, Uncut Gems 2019.
How you doing, Holly? How's it going? How are you? Good Pesach out. All right, Larry, you're a Jew again. Welcome back. I made a crazy risk. We gambled. And it's about to pay off. So I want the Celtics to cover. I want the Celtics halftime. I want Garnett points and rebounds. What do you know? I don't know. I just know.
Well, I'll tell you what I know. It's the dumbest bet I ever heard of.
I disagree. I disagree, Gary.
What is that?
I started it.
Are you serious?
You're taking my money all over town, placing bets.
I'm having very serious second thoughts.
Are you serious right now?
I know what the...
Howard, where's the money right now?
Howard, got my money?
When I do these reviews, I tend to have a good idea of what I want to see each week for the show. Only sometimes that decision gets made for me. Every now and then, a film comes around, normally on Netflix, that everyone around me just can't stop banging on about. So I figure, yeah, that might be worth a watch. When said film also happens to be starring Adam Sandler, an actor synonymous with sticking forks in your brain, and yet still everyone goes on about it, well, let's take a look. Written and directed by Josh and Benny Safdie, with an additional writing credit for Ronald Bronstein, Uncut Gems follows Howard Ratner, played by Adam Sandler, a Jewish jeweller and gambling addict in the heart of New York City. Up to his eyes in gambling debts, Howard has his eyes set on making a big score with a rare, uncut black opal, which he believes will earn him a cool million, and then some. Things get complicated when Howard shows off the opal to a high-profile customer, the basketball extraordinaire Kevin Garnett, played by himself, who quickly becomes obsessed with the gem and demands he take it with him for good luck for the game that evening. Howard reluctantly agrees, but soon becomes apoplectic with impatience when Kevin doesn't immediately return it. With the auctioneer company on his back, an increasingly angry loan shark nipping at his heels, and his estranged wife bitterly demanding he spend time with his children, the only solace Howard gets is the time he spends with his mistress, Julia. When Howard suspects even Julia is cheating on him, well, that's what we call the descent. Everything goes quickly wrong, and as Howard hits rock bottom, he takes a moment to look once again at the Black Opal, and the upturn begins. I'm sure it wasn't completely accidental, but there is an odd mysticism hinted at of the eponymous Uncut Gems. When a character stares deep into the crystal, things change, and even the soundtrack bends itself to add a ethereal air to what would otherwise be just another MacGuffin, in the vein of Pulp Fiction's Briefcase or Snatch's Diamonds. I think that's what stands out with Uncut Gems more than anything else. On the surface, this is a low-level gangster film with a man in crippling debt fighting against loan sharks and gangsters. Except there's a lot more going on. Besides Adam Sandler's quite honestly magnificent performance, and indeed the amazing performance by Julia Fox in her featured debut, Uncut Gems takes its time to introduce every element of Howard's life. He's more than just an addict and an idiot. He's also a three-dimensional family man who completely acknowledges the mistakes he makes. He's a schmuck, but a schmuck that's trying to survive the only way he can. Uncut Gems is quite honestly incredible. Not only does it look wonderful, the use of synth music and the film's pacing is enough to put you on the edge of your seat. I don't know about anyone else, but I've never felt quite so tense and excited watching a basketball game since Space Jam. Uncut Gems is currently on Netflix, and seriously, it's earned its critical acclaim. The only thing that will leave you cold is when the credits roll and you sit back, take a sip of your drink and think, what the hell has Adam Sandler been doing his whole career?
This is me. This is how I win. KJ, it's game night. You should be stretching out.
Yeah, what is he, a coach?
Nah, he's just a crazy ass Jew.
Oh, mademoiselle, would you like to have a film discussion? Oh, yes, monsieur. I'd love to have an in-depth film discussion with you, like I do on Screen Bucket.
Warning. Audiences everywhere are growing concerned about distasteful and gruesome films. This trailer depicts scenes that may offend sensitive viewers. If you are easily offended, cover your right eye now. However, if you enjoy a good, broad-minded laugh, cover your left eye now.
I thought you were a trustworthy boy, but going out behind my back with that oily shop girl, kissing and cuddling in public. But, Mum, she's experienced.
Lionel loves his new girlfriend.
Oh!
Almost as much as he loves his mother.
Braindead!
Braindead!
1992, Peter Jackson classic, cult classic.
Also known as Dead Alive.
Yes.
So it's impossible to say how important this film was and is to us. Because, I mean, I remember watching this when I was 16 and then immediately going on and meeting you and us discussing our interests. I was watching it back because I don't think I've seen it since that sort of age.
What? Really? That's insane. I've watched it so much.
The influence that it has had on us is mental.
With some, possibly without you realising as well.
Yeah.
No, similar. Braindead. I've said before that Evil Dead is what kind of woke me up to filmmaking. Oh my god, we could do this.
Yeah.
You know? Braindead was the next one. Braindead was the first of that kind of comedy 80s world. I say 80s. It feels 80s, even though it's 90s. That was the next one in line that made me go, yeah, this is brilliant.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a shame, because that means I watched some of the two best ones first. But yeah, Braindead is the first one I saw of Peter Jackson, ignoring Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I didn't see Bad Taste till way after.
No, me neither.
I do think I prefer Bad Taste
Oh, I'm the opposite. I prefer Braindead.
Really? I think Braindead's a better film, but I think I prefer Bad Taste.
Right.
Because it's just so small.
Yeah.
You know? It's so like, yeah, we can build this.
Anyone can do that. Yeah, definitely.
But yes, Braindead. Peter Jackson directed and co-written by Stephen Sinclair, who went on to do Lord of the Rings as well. And also Fran Welsh, who's been a long time Peter Jackson collaborator as well. So yeah, tell me what happens.
Okay, so we open in Skull Island, and as far as Peter Jackson is concerned, this is the same Skull Island as where King Kong lives, because he loved King Kong so much. So we've got some sort of expeditionist and his foreign companion. They're carrying a wooden cage with an unseen creature down a mountain.
Very much the opening of Jurassic Park in a way.
Yeah. The natives appear. They're adamant that they don't take this creature, but he gets out his gun, makes him go away, takes him to the car, but he gets a bite.
You've got the bite. There's some Dettol in the Jeep.
The natives who are taking him, I assume, back to a boat or a plane, they realise how deadly or what the consequences are of being bitten, so they chop off his arm. Then they realise his other arm's got a bite on it, so they chop off that arm.
Zendaya! Oh, shit!
Then they realise he's got a scratch on his head. Head's got to go.
Yep.
And splat, Braindead title. We're in. And then we're in Wellington. We're in Wellington, New Zealand, and we're introduced to Lionel and his odious mother, Vera.
Yes, think Psycho level, Bateman-esque control over her son. We've got Vera Cosgrove and Lionel Cosgrove. Vera is the epitome of this sort of selfish, over-aggrandizing. The Hyacinth Bouquet, but evil. Yes. She runs all the women's institution stuff and all sorts of things like this.
And no one is taking her precious son away.
No, that's a very, very clear...
He is her property.
Yes.
So we got Paquita. Paquita, the love interest. Paquita is a shop worker with the rest of her Spanish family. Her Spanish grandmother predicts using tarot cards, but she's going to find a man and fall in love with him.
She says you've got one romance, and it will last forever.
Yeah.
And don't go near that man. Look out for this guy. And shows a Black Knight card, tarot card, with Lionel's kind of face on it. And look out for this sign. It's a cross with a crescent moon.
And there's an accident. They tip things over in the shop when Lionel
Lionel arrives doing delivery, orders Black Knight licorice. Did you notice that?
Yes.
And then, while she's not interested in this guy, or whatever. Then there's a spillage, and there is the cross with the crescent. And she immediately goes mental. And she's like, her eyes wide, and she smiles, and he's like, okay, leave me alone now, okay.
And she then drops his order off, and kind of tricks him into a date.
Yes.
What do you say, Zoo? Oh yes, tomorrow. And
he's so naive.
He's so naive, isn't he?
That's the thing, that he's willing to go along, but also he kind of wants this to happen, because he obviously hasn't experienced this. This is what's referred to as a meet cute.
Right.
Since this is a romantic comedy, this is one of those things that all romantic comedies will have a moment where the man and the woman are forced together.
Yeah.
It's normally because of the film, because of they have to speed things along. It normally be an accident, normally be an immediate thing. So in this case, it's literally, look out for this sign. Here's the sign. There we go. Now you're together.
Yeah.
Obviously not in here. We've got coffee going everywhere and all that stuff. So yes. So that's the meet cute. We follow along to the date being what where they go to the Wellington Zoo, being stalked by Vera.
She's not approving of this new blossoming relationship. And as she spies on them, well, we're introduced to the Sumatran rat monkey before this.
Yes, so...
Which is actually... I laughed and laughed and laughed. There's a monkey who gets too close to the Sumatran rat monkey's cage, isn't there?
Yeah, so it's... Bequita, she's so excited to see the monkey, she throws an apple core. It bounces off the cage and lands between another cage. The monkey reaches out, and then something swipes it away and punches it away.
He goes, yeah, and just flops to the floor.
And this stop motion monstrosity appears.
Yeah, this horrendous creature, and yeah, he just rips off the dead monkey's arm, starts chewing on that.
Yeah.
Shortly after, Vera puts her hand too close and she gets the bite. It's on her shoulder, isn't it?
It's on her arm.
On her arm.
Because it's what... Yes.
She screams, getting the attention of all the other people at the zoo, ruins the date, and Lionel escorts her back home.
Oh, and she brutally murders the monkey.
Oh, yeah. That's done.
Like, she's unbelievable. So there's this thing that has bitten her. She has a handbag, smacks it to the ground, and then heel stomps it, and then doesn't just like punish it by kicking it. She really grinds the heel in. Eyeballs are cut.
She goes to town.
Oh man, I was eating spaghetti bolognese at the time.
That's not ideal.
It wasn't the greatest choice for food for this film, but yes. So she's been bitten. She gets a rabies shot.
Doesn't do a lot.
Things, I'll tell you what I forgot watching it back. How quickly it progresses.
It descends quite rapidly, doesn't it?
Everything twists very, very quick. Because the next scene is the scene.
Yeah.
Basically. So she gets, she's got a bite, it's infected. It looks so horrific.
It looks bad.
It's obviously like a latex arm with a pulsating thing. Oh, yeah. But then someone knocks at the door.
So it's some flower committee or something, isn't it? Who is it?
It's the WLWL.
She refuses to not see these people for some political mumbo-jumbo reason. So she forces herself to get ready. I remember thinking this at the time when I first saw it. This was what made me really laugh. She goes to put makeup on and her face falls off.
Yeah, just peels off.
And he has to get some super glue to stick it back on. I have to say, the first time I watched this film, I didn't know it was a comedy.
Did you not?
So we were watching it up to about this point, we were like, is this supposed to be funny? We couldn't tell. This is where we started going, alright, yeah. We're in on it now.
Just peels off and she goes, oh.
Trying to get some super glue and stick it back on. And it's grim.
Quite literally falling apart.
And then we get to the dinner scene.
So she's ravenously hungry. She's grabbing food off of the woman's plate. Bits are falling off of her. Lionel's panicking and just trying to keep things together and keep things as normal as possible.
Here, have some of my beans.
Yeah.
I'll have some of those beans, lad.
Yeah. Fantastic.
So it's another elderly woman and her husband.
What's fantastic about this scene is how out of tune the husband is, because she's falling apart, and at one moment he slams his hand down on the table and goes, "What we need is another war." Just completely oblivious.
Yeah.
The wife is in complete and utter horror.
Yeah, she knows what's going on. She watches as Vera's ear falls off into the.
Yeah.
And there's just Lionel just trying to keep conversation. I hear Sir Edmund Hillary's taking another trip to the South Pole.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then of course this is the scene that we recreated, which was definitely my favourite one.
Yeah,
I think.
I think we're all cast ourselves very well. Your no pudding line was wonderful.
Thank you, Lionel.
What? No pudding?
And Matt, we managed to do the squirts very well. I enjoyed doing the jam squirt.
The squirt worked very well. It's just ketchup wrapped in tissue paper. And then jam into the into the custard. But yeah, it worked just as well, I think, as what happened in the film.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That scene. There's so many people I know who I showed not only our 28 Days of Horror to, but the actual 31 Days of Horror, I'm talking about, showed the actual clip to, and they've gone away going, I feel sick, I can't watch it. Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah.
So this is really when it descends, and from here, Vera just gets more and more mutated. Innocent people start getting in the way.
So Paquita comes to visit Lionel. I think he's trying to dump her, isn't he? Because he doesn't want her to be, she's giving him pressure.
Vera very clearly said, "Don't leave me, Lionel." And all that stuff. So yeah, he's done it in both ends, but he wants to. I think he wants to keep her away because he now knows something horrible is happening.
Mm. And the dog is eaten.
Well, yeah, Paquita's dog just runs upstairs.
Yeah.
And so Vera starts screaming. They run upstairs. It's one of my favourite lines ever.
Oh, Fernando! Your mother ate my dog!
Not all of it.
Not all of it. And the bed is just covered in guts.
Got the tail.
She pulls out of her
man.
mouth. Yeah, it's horrendous.
But then Vera goes on the rampage, tries to then attack Paquita. Lionel stops it, falls down the stairs. It looks like Vera's dead.
Yep.
That's when it becomes a zombie film, really, at that point.
Yeah.
'Cause she then attacks the nurse in a wonderful, horrific scene. The gore and the effects in this film are incredible.
They're so good.
I'm watching it, I was thinking, I kind of know how they did that. I want to do that.
It's amazing.
Like, simple bits like... I don't even want to say it, really. I don't want to spoil it. But fingers going through a face, then their head snapping back, and it's still being attached. And,
Yeah.
Oh, God.
There's a literal set of internal organs at one point that crawls around on its lungs, and it has a sort of ventricle face which goes...
Oh, it looks in the mirror.
Yeah, it's so weird. This is the other great thing. There's not really any rules. Peter Jackson's made the very clear decision that he's going to have as much fun with it as he wants.
Yeah.
The lamp goes through the head of a woman and she lights up. There's walking intestines. There's all sorts of things.
Yeah, that's the thing. As the film gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, so do the effects, and the level of energy gets more and more and more as well. Some of the sequences when Uncle Les is chopping up bodies with knives.
Yeah. Amazing.
And he sticks a garden gnome in the stump of a head.
Yeah. That's walking around later on. It's still going.
It's like wonderful. The amount of stuff going on, because that's at the core of it. There is a romance story going on. You have Paquita and Lionel trying to get together while trying to fend off the undead, hordes of the undead. It kind of loses it at one point when they're just separated and trying to survive. And everyone's got their own part to play, and everyone's doing their own thing. I would say the bit with the guts goes on a little bit too long, if we're going to criticise anything.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Because Lionel's sort of on his own, just being chased by guts. I want him to be chopping things up.
That's a good criticism to have, I think. If you're saying about a film, the guts attack went a bit too long, then it's a very good thing.
Well, yes.
That's a criticism. But then, we've got to touch on the lawnmower scene.
Well, I mean, that's it. So, a whole party of people are transformed into zombies. We've got Paquita and her friend in the middle. Everything's closing in on them. And suddenly the door kicks open.
Party's over.
And then we see him wrench on the lawnmower. This old-fashioned lawnmower, just a blade. Just like a jet blade going around. And he just walks through. And mows the entire horde of zombies. Blood is flying everywhere. Guts, limbs.
There's a wonderful shot where it's facing the door, and you can mostly see the crowd in front of you, but over the top of them, you can see the flinging limbs coming closer and closer. There's more limbs flying through the air. It's so good.
Well, my favourite thing is he walks through, and it's quite dry.
Yeah.
There's all the sounds of the screaming and the blade and the blood. And then he turns around, and then some like weird ballet music comes on. As he just starts walking back and forth through this horde of zombies, and he starts slipping on the blood. And that scene, I don't know if it still holds the record, but for years that had the most fake blood.
It's 300 litres, wasn't it?
But yeah, at least.
Bloody mental.
That genuinely, that is something to be proud of, you know. Then we get to the real ending.
Ugh.
Ugh. See, what's been happening is, while Lionel's been trying to keep the zombies quiet, he's been injecting them with tranquilizers. Vera, in particular, there's a funeral sequence where she gets too much stuff in her.
Yeah.
Like it's just a nightmare of chemicals and things. And she transforms. She mutates.
This is following an accidental injection of animal stimulant, isn't it?
Yeah.
And she... remember when we played through House of the Dead Overkill?
Yeah.
And there was at the end... I don't really want to spoil it, but there's a bit which involves the antagonist crawling back into his mum, his dead mum, which is kind of similar to what happens here, but except he's very reluctantly, pulled into his mum's stomach.
Yes, and and then it all don't really want to spoil it, but that is the most visual metaphor for what the whole film's about. The whole film is about a man trying to get with a woman around his possessive mum.
Yeah.
Who just wants him back inside.
In the womb.
Yes. So he has to physically remove that problem and be free.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we end the film, really. Braindead is something that... It's stupid to say that you have to watch it to understand it. You don't have to watch it to understand it. It's pretty straightforward. You have to watch it to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because it's splatstick is the other term for it. It's lots of guts, lots of violence, lots of ridiculous stuff, and just laugh out loud comedy the whole way through.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about the priest.
Oh my god, the priest.
So Lionel gets Vera buried, but then still has to... This is weird. He still digs her up to tranquilise her so she doesn't rise from the grave. Which seems mad. Do you know what you should do? Turn the coffin upside down.
Yeah.
And she digs down. Anyway.
Nice.
Anyway. And while he's there, he angers some teddy boys.
Yeah.
Who's just there. And then when it all kicks off, the priest arrives.
Of all people, the priest is disturbed from his slumber, sees Lionel being attacked by the three biker goons, and he unleashes his kung fu fury on them.
Stay back, boy. This calls for divine intervention.
Amazing.
This man's been training for this his whole life.
Yeah. Such a great scene. So well directed, actually, as well.
Oh, yeah.
Just rains on them. Punches and kicks, sends them flying through the air.
Out of nowhere. I love it. I love it.
Immortal line.
I kick ass for the Lord.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
I mean, the other great scene as well is the baby scene. Apparently the baby scene was shot after the film was finished because they had loads of money left over.
45,000 left, didn't they?
So Peter Jackson just filmed this scene. This scene, I remember crying with laughter the first time I saw it because two of the zombies actually have a baby earlier on, and because it was zombie science, it grows really quick, really fast, and it's massive. It's about, I don't know, it's toddler size, straight out the womb. And Lionel decides to take it for a walk in a pram. I don't know what he's thinking at this point, like trying to just live life normally. But he's just following the cues of other women with prams and and how it starts fighting back. Yeah. And there's a point when he's banging a baby zombie against the climbing frame, and all the women are going, oh, And a homeless man's just...
Loving it. He turns to the mums and he goes, hyperactive. Or something. They're kind of like, huh. Like a bit bemused by the situation. He's been beating the living daylights out of this baby.
That is the best one-liner after that whole sequence. Hyperactive.
Oh, so good.
Is there any lessons we can learn from Braindead?
Don't hold back on the blood. Don't hold back on the gore. Don't hold back on the goo.
I wish we saw it before doing Quaggers.
Yeah.
I think we would have gone a bit further.
We would have, and I think we will be in future. I think if I've learned anything from watching it again, future installments, we're going to go for the gross out a bit more.
Yes.
Definitely. And it's fun, yeah. It's a really fun movie. Really, really fun.
And, I mean, I don't normally promote it, but it is on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
Everyone, it's on YouTube.
You can watch it right now for free.
Right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Braindead, the best romantic zombie comedy you'll see before Shaun of the Dead.
Exactly.
I'm just a sweet screen bucket.
Nick's Game Reviews. The Division 2. I got a text about 2 weeks ago that said, "Hey guys, Division 2 is dirt cheap at the moment. I've been playing it for the last month. I think you guys will like it." It was a group message to our old Destiny group. This group had lied dormant for about a year. No good group party games had come out. Some had tried, Anthem, Destiny 2, The Division, all had failed. So when this friend recommended we all start playing The Division 2, well, we all mocked him. But it was cheap, £3. And so we thought, what the hell? 2 weeks later, and I have to say, I am hooked. This is the sequel to one of the most boring, empty, soul-destroying games of this generation. And yet, Massive Entertainment have clearly seen the potential where others did not. They've listened to all the negative feedback, they've watched other online looters come and go, and they've created a game that genuinely works. The key to any game like this is the replayability, and The Division 2 knows exactly what would work with this. Begrudgingly, it's Ubisoft's tower and activity structure. Split the map into areas, get players to unlock those areas gradually, and populate said areas with a mixture of easy and challenging activities that keep you coming back for more. The multiplayer is familiar but unique, the raids are challenging, require teamwork but also keep the fun going. And the story, it's actually good. Who knew Ubisoft could make a game that had both a good story and good gameplay? Speaking of gameplay, the shooting is superb. You know I love a good shooting mechanic, and this game has them in droves. From the popping of an automatic rifle to the thumping blast of a shotgun. But it's not just run and gun, you really have to be tactical and think about what you're doing. Think cover shooters like Gears and then pump it up to 100. All in all, the game won me over, where it had no right to. If you like a fun and challenging looter shooter that brings you and your mates together, this is the one at the moment. Also, it's pretty good representation of Washington DC, to the point where I was walking down past the ellipsis and my girlfriend yelled, "Oh my god, that's the bench we saw that squirrel with the big balls." Fantastic.
Greetings from Tromaville. I'm Lloyd Kaufman, legendary filmmaker about whom you have never heard. And I'm here today to talk to you about a little film called Tromeo and Juliet, which, by the way, was the debut film for James Gunn, who went on to write, after Tromeo and Juliet, a movie propounding incest. James Gunn's next career move was to write the delightful children's movie Scooby-Doo. And I'm here to take part in Trailers from Hell.
Parting is such sweet sorrow.
Totally sucks. I went to a trauma retrospective in England, and whilst there, I visited the birthplace of William Shakespeare. And whilst there, William Shakespeare's spirit entered my body. I cannot tell you from which orifice Shakespeare's spirit exited my body, but the result was Tromeo and Juliet. One of the reasons I like Shakespeare is that trauma in its 35 years has been, I guess you would call it a shit disturber, and Shakespeare definitely stirred the shit. I took a shot at writing a draft. It sucked. John G. Avildsen, with whom I worked on Rocky, told me, get away from Shakespeare and find some young kid who's in high school and and get him to talk the talk. That didn't work. One day, James Gunn walks in the office, and he was coming in basically to do filing or be my bitch boy. And he wrote an amazing draft of Romeo and Juliet. It was about 6 hours long, and it had about 6 urination scenes. But we came up with a good, very good script, dark, funny, and I think Romeo and Juliet probably is one of Troma's most successful movies. I think it saved Shakespeare's career. And a little known fact that nobody would, once again, as with all Troma movies, no cinema would play Romeo and Juliet, rightfully so. But in this case, it was because Shakespeare doesn't make money. Shakespeare is a failure. You can't make money with Shakespeare. It's ridiculous. Luckily, Baz Luhrmann's movie, which had started 2 years later, came out and was a huge hit, and that opened the doors for Romeo and Juliet. There were a few angry theater owners who thought that Romeo and Juliet was Baz Luhrmann's movie, so that we did get a little ill will there. But the end result was that Romeo and Juliet was beautifully received, very good film festival record, and actually has been one of Troma's finest hours.
Welcome to Fortnite Schmortnight. Jurassic World 3 is due to start filming very soon, according to Chris Pratt. During an appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live, Chris Pratt confirmed production on Jurassic World 3 will begin very soon. I'm in it. Yeah, we're gearing up. We're getting ready to go very quickly.
Yeah, let's rush it out. Brilliant.
Get it out of the way. Done. I did, like, hindsight, wonderful thing and all, but I think the thing which makes me saddest about the Jurassic World saga in general is how, if you watch Jurassic Park, it's so smart. It's a very intelligent film. It's sophisticated, and it talks about morals, and this very... The characters are deep.
Yeah, well, it's because it's not about... The film isn't about dinosaurs.
It's got a theme.
It's about parenthood and God.
Yeah.
And our relationship with God. And now it's just dinosaurs!
Dinosaurs, bigger dinosaurs, made up dinosaurs. Dinosaurs that never existed, but we made.
Do you remember this?
Who wouldn't want to see a film about, dinosaurs running amok in America? Like, I like the idea of that, but it's not Jurassic Park, really, is it?
Well, yeah, it's true, because all loose now, aren't they? Well, did you remember that short, though? That short was really good.
The short was good, yeah.
So there is potential. I don't know, I just feel like...
Yeah. I want it to go away for 5 years, and then
have a think about what it's done.
And then come back with another smart grown-up Jurassic Park that knows what it's talking about.
It is weird when you think about Jurassic World, because it's made money, but it's not been critically, acclaimed. And Star Wars had the same journey. And Star Wars, they kept going, oh no, that's bad. Oh, and kept changing it and swapping the director in and out.
Yeah.
They didn't do that with Jurassic World. They just sort of left it.
Yeah.
Do its own thing. It's weird. Why is that?
Is not
Disney being twitchy, or is that
maybe there's not so much of like the mental fan base that Star Wars has? Like, you feel like you're treading on eggshells with anything with Star Wars.
I mean, that's true.
Jurassic Park, to a certain extent, do your own thing. Kids love dinosaurs. It's fine. All good.
Yeah, I suppose you can say even the worst critic review, they'll still go, but it was quite cool seeing X and Y.
Yeah. That's why, like, with the first Jurassic World, I was a bit with the T-Rex when I saw it in the cinema fighting the Indominus Rex. I'm bloody, in awe of it at the cinema. I loved it.
I think I turned to my girlfriend at the time and went, oh, I know what's coming.
More teeth! Yeah. We'll see how it goes. Indiana Jones 5 is also due to start filming shortly.
We need to start calling this section sequels.
This is the last sequel thing-ish in this fortnight, but we do need to... I wanted to talk about Indiana Jones 5 anyway, but yeah, Harrison Ford, during a recent interview, revealed that shooting on the 5th will commence in about 2 months. I mean, he's so old. He can't swing on a frickin' rope anymore, can he?
No. But he could fly a plane.
He could fly a plane. He could do all the Sean Connery stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, yeah.
Which that would be pretty cool.
But that's flown the tube because now Shia LaBeouf's gone mad.
I wonder if they can get him back.
That was kind of the idea, I think.
I'd like Shia LaBeouf. I turned a page with Shia LaBeouf. I quite like him now, to be honest, because I like that he's gone mad.
I think he's gone a bit too far to go back now.
Yeah.
To be a charming...
I wonder if they just reference him and he's not in it. I don't know.
Or he's gone to prison or something.
Yeah. But... You know, we love the Indiana Jones universe. We love Indiana Jones. He's the coolest character of all time.
Do we know if it's set when it's set? Because the last one was in the 50s.
Yeah, so this one would have to be the 60s. Beatlemania is going on, but Indiana Jones, there'll be Russians again, won't it? We can't more Cold War stuff.
Must still be Russians. But then, could it be moon landing stuff?
Ooh,
if it's 60s.
Yeah. Hippies.
Hippies.
Druids. Drugs and druids
What
and
if
stuff.
he's on Apollo 11? He's the third man.
Yeah.
Because of the Crystal Skull aliens are on the moon!
Oh! Yeah, why not? Let's go with that.
Because he's... Oh my god. Yeah.
Space Jones.
And that's how he can get around being inflexible and old.
Low gravity.
He's floating.
Give him a laser gun.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right, well, I'm writing it now.
It writes itself. Universal is working on a Bride of Frankenstein movie, despite scrapping the Dark Universe. So in 2017, Universal announced it would be reviving its classic monster franchises as part of an MCU-inspired shared universe called The Dark Universe. This began with Tom Cruise's Mummy reboot, which was a turd. So that kind of like really took it off the rails. Surprisingly, the studio is now pushing forward with a series of director-driven and more cost-efficient reboots instead. Beginning with Blumhouse and Leigh Whannell's The Invisible Man later this month, which looks really, really good.
It does look really, really good.
Yeah. So that's interesting. I've never watched Bride of Frankenstein.
You're not?
No.
It's alright.
Absolute classic as far as I've read.
Yeah, I mean, it opens the door. I think it's one of those things that gets referenced more than just plain Frankenstein.
Yeah.
They tend to merge the two together. Yeah, no, interesting. I like that it's gone kind of backwards. They're doing what they should have done first.
Yeah. Little things, smarter things.
And then piece them together later. Yeah. Yeah, no, looking forward to it.
Yeah, should be good. Have you seen the trailer for The Iron Mask? In fact, I'm gonna make you watch it right now.
What?
Yeah.
What was that?
I don't know. So,
everyone go look up of The Iron Mask. What was that? It's like a parody of Pirates of the Caribbean. With the wrong cast.
Yeah, the colour's weird, the sound editing's bad. Arnold and Jackie Chan, the Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jackie Chan, they seem to be in one scene. And I imagine they're probably only in that scene. But whoever made this movie, they've got them in. I think this might be Rutger Hauer's last film.
No.
That's how he's taking his bow. I think he might play the dragon. I could be wrong.
Oh, well, at least he's not actually...
Yeah, Jason Fleming's in it. It's just so weird.
All the comments are just saying, Jackie Chan and Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'm in!
Yeah.
That's what they want you to say.
I mean, that's why people are going to watch the movie. I will watch the hell out of this on TV, but I don't think I'm going to go and see it at the cinema, because it just looks... It looks like it on a level of Cats bad.
Oh, God. It looks like a crap video game.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Yeah. No. Go away.
Yeah, really, really weird. But there's a big dragon, so...
Whatever. I don't get the fuss about dragons.
Oh, they're
putting it out there.
They're alright, aren't they?
They're alright. That's fine. But people go crazy about dragons.
Yeah.
Don't get it.
Reign of Fire was the last time I was inspired by a dragon film, I think. I loved it. But Smaug looked incredible, but The Hobbit didn't. Anyway,
yes.
Finally, Robert England has said he feels it is too old to ever play Freddy Krueger again.
No.
He says, I don't think I'll ever don the makeup again. Talking to Entertainment Weekly, he said, I'm a little too old for that, a little long in the tooth to play Freddy now. I think if I was doing it, it would be more like Freddy versus Viagra.
Well, that sounds great.
That's a porn everyone wants to see.
Well, to be honest though, you do think if we're running the original actors through retirement, maybe we should stop remaking them.
Yeah.
There must be some new ideas, but not without Wes Craven.
Yeah.
We need to summon the spirit of Wes Craven to find out.
Because the Wes Craven estate has moved, isn't it? I think the reason that there's more Nightmare on Elm Streets and Screams now, like, suddenly happening, is because of what's happened with that.
Yeah, well, yes, it's true, and we've talked about that before. Do you know what part of the issue is? Horror, specifically horror, and a couple other genres as well. Drama, maybe. We've gone full circle into the 70s now. And the 70s is famous for being quite slow and quite boring.
Yeah.
So you've got your A24s, Lighthouse, The Witch, Midsummer, all that stuff. That's very 70s, and I think people aren't ready for that yet.
No.
So people still want popcorn stuff.
They need to, well, I think the horror world is now screaming for a new antagonist. We need another Ghostface, we need another Michael.
Yeah, but I think now the horror is real. The horror is you.
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
Yeah.
We're going to have to go through that.
Alright, get that out of the way.
The current horror is going to be your Hereditary's, your Midsummer, where it's people getting twisted and mutated into something horrible.
Dark, sinister, uncomfortable films to watch. I mean, The Green Knight is like a medieval horror coming out.
Oh yeah, that is awesome.
Another A24 film, and that is similarly like dark and twisted looking. So yeah, they're trying to get into that level of psyche for horror. It's not just about fear anymore, it's about writhing and wiggling in discomfort whilst being scared.
I think it's not about fun anymore. I think that's the thing.
No, you're absolutely right.
But yeah, yes, cool.
Yeah, so concludes Fortnight Schmortnight.
Yay! Adam's film reviews. Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey, 2020.
You know what a Harley Quinn is? A Harley Quinn's role is to serve. It's nothing without a master. No one gives two shits who we are beyond that. The Joker and I broke up. I wanted a fresh start. But it turns out I wasn't the only dame in Gotham looking for emancipation.
Spectacular news!
Miss Quinn, she belongs to me.
Who are you guys?
Here's the deal, Quinn.
You need me!
Directed by Kathy Yan and written by Christina Hodgson, Birds of Prey acts as a spiritual sequel to 2016's Suicide Squad, this time focusing on Harley Quinn, played again by Margot Robbie, and her adventures after Suicide Squad, and indeed after her relationship with the Joker has finally come to an end. And end it most certainly has. When we meet Harley again, she is plunged deep into grief, having been thrown out on the streets by the Joker for the last time. Spending her time hitting the town and hitting the tequilas, Harley is treated with a soft hand by everyone around her, fearing that her involvement with Joker might cause more trouble than it's worth. See, Harley isn't exactly telling everyone she's single again. She's too busy enjoying her time of guilt-free anarchy. Harley only finally makes a declaration to the world that she and Joker are over when she steals a tanker full of petrol and ploughs it deep into the heart of the Gotham Ace chemicals plant, causing a fireball that draws the attention of Detective Renee Montoya, played by Rosie Perez, who's previously been heavily involved investigating the multiple murders of known mobsters by an unknown assailant. Ooh. With Harley's excessively public relationship status update, the crosshairs begin to fall on her, targeted by every part-time criminal, aggrieved citizen and hungry police officer. Harley quickly finds herself on the run, surviving mostly through dumb luck and no small amount of genuine skill. Her time runs out, however, when she's cornered by the goons of gangster Roman Sionis, played by the wonderfully scenery-chewing Ewan McGregor. See, while we follow Harley in her colourful adventure through Gotham, there are shades of deep change afoot on the streets of Gotham. The old guard of organised crime, your mafia or triad types, are swiftly being brushed aside in the crime-infested city, with their whole population being wiped out by the ruthless greed of the new wave of criminal, portrayed here by Roman Sionis. Part of this plot involves a diamond, within which holds the code to the fortune of the late mafia family, and Roman wants this bad. When Roman sends his top henchman, the disturbed and off-hinge Victor Zaz, played by Chris Messina, and the badass with a heart of gold Dina Lance, also known as Black Canary, played by June Smollett-Bell, to collect the diamond, his plans are foiled by the plucky pickpocket from the streets Cassandra Cain, played by Ella J. Basco, who's quick to swallow the diamond the moment she realises she owns it. With the diamond missing, Roman spares Harley from a fairly irreversible defacing and sets her loose to find Cassandra, along with the rest of the criminal underworld. In no time at all, Harley is on her very own adventure and soon crosses paths with not only Cassandra but Black Canary, Detective Montoya, and even the mysterious crossbow killer herself, known as the Huntress, played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Let me put it out there, Birds of Prey is a lot of fun. It's an action-adventure ramped full of action, one-liners, and a colour palette to make any primary school classroom blush with shame. Sassy anti-heroes facing up against the unhinged and dangerously mad gangsters in a city that's eating itself is about as perfect a pitch for a movie I can think of, and yet, for all the fun and bone-crunching action, there does seem to be something missing for me in Birds of Prey. I've been racking my brains trying to work out exactly what it is, and while I'm not a huge fan of the hip-hoppy soundtrack, it's unfortunately something much deeper. Harley Quinn she's just not mad enough. Oh sure, she's a bit kooky, and yes, fair enough, she does spend most of the first act depressed, but this was an excellent opportunity to let the reins loose and go absolutely insane with these characters, with the premise, and yes, with the action. This was particularly missing around the second act, where I felt the pacing sagged almost to stopping point, before rapidly building up again to a wonderful final sequence that could have fallen straight out of Joel Schumacher's Notebook for Batman and Robin. But when all's said and done, this is a lot of fun and a great follow-up to Suicide Squad. Special mention should be made of Harley and Dina exchanging hairbands during the final climactic battle. This is totally worth a watch.
You're that psycho chick. I never call a woman a chick. I'll accept broad, lady, woman, and on occasion bitch. Bitch? What are you talking about? That for me, will you?
Oscars!
Yeah, the 92nd Academy Awards happened last week.
Yeah, a hostless, strange affair in which different people were constantly rolled out. People were introduced to introduce people who introduced the Oscar.
Do you know what? One day we should do a live stream of us watching it.
Yeah?
And I know that comes with a lot of misery. But I think that might be something worth doing.
Yeah.
Set up a camera on us, reacting and watching, commenting on the Oscar footage as it happens.
Yeah. We need something else exciting in the room at the same time, I think. Maybe like a snake.
Something about to happen at any point. We could gamble on it. We can make it a betting thing.
Yeah.
Or something.
Sounds reasonable.
Or a drinking game where we nominate, so we have a list of things each.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Play Jenga.
Something. Play a bit of poker.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that might be something to think about. But this year, we are doing it the old traditional way of waking up the next morning going, oh
yeah. Yeah, 100% that.
So we had some predictions last time based on what we'd seen. Some came true.
Yep.
I think Roger Deakins obviously won Best Cinematography.
Yeah, and it would have been dumb if anything else did, because it was just the best cinematography I think I've ever seen. Some of the best. I'm
pretty sure we both said Joaquin Phoenix would win as Joker.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that Laura Dern got Best Supporting Actress for Marriage Story. Renée Zellweger and Judy. I haven't seen Judy. Haven't even seen it advertised.
No, me neither.
Know anything about Judy. But there's some shocks.
Ooh, oh, go on.
Well, directing. Everyone assumed Martin Scorsese would get it.
Bong. The triumphant bong. I said in the last show that I thought 1917 was going to clear house, and especially in terms of like the directing and ones like that. Or, you know. And then I saw Parasite, and then I messaged everyone instantly, and I said, "Oh, that's winning," because it is a masterpiece. It's an amazing film. He's such a metaphorical director. Every scene means something. Every shot, rather, it means something. He does this wonderful thing where he'll put a line in a window, and then two people interacting beyond the window, and it kind of tells you a story of where they are and what it means. And someone crosses the line and does something that they shouldn't do.
Okay.
And it's literally them crossing the line on the window. There's so much visual stuff, and the class commentary in it is just a beautiful, fantastic film.
Yeah, now it's being shown in a few more places, so I will be watching that very soon. I haven't seen it yet, but yeah, I'm really excited to see it. It caused a lot of controversy. I've seen some reviews now. You mentioned you'd seen some as well, of people going mental about this. Because it won... What did it win in the end? It won Best Original Screenplay.
Best Director...
Best Picture. And Best International Picture. It won 4, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of people arguing about that it shouldn't have won Best Picture.
They do need to sort it out, because it's a weird one. Of course, it should be able to win Best Picture, but what are we doing with why can you win Best International Film and Best Picture?
Yeah, like, why is the international film a category if international films can win Best Picture?
Yeah.
Because it's either international or it's national.
Is it the sort of thing where if it graduates to being capable of winning Best Picture, then it loses?
But then surely all of the Best International Features nominees should have also been nominees in Best...
Yeah. So, you know...
Unless it had American money or something. Maybe there was some weird blurring of the line.
Yeah, there was a guy I saw who was going mental about the fact that...
Was this the beardy southern...
Yeah, beardy.
This has been shared a lot.
Said, "Oh, Joker! Why didn't Joker win Best Picture? I haven't seen Parasite, but come on, it's Korean," sort of thing. And a lot of people were having that sort of response to it. The moment you are trying to compare two films and you say you haven't seen one of them, you're instantly a prat. Like, come on.
I mean, that's the fan syndrome.
Yeah.
It's when you take things about your beloved franchise or whatever as yourself. It is an icon of yourself.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So if Joker was who this person identified, I am Joker. I am that film. I'm everything about that film.
And he's going to die on that hill.
And if you get anything against Joker, he's going to take it personally.
Yeah.
And so that, I guess, in their mind, is a slight to Joker. I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
They're still a nominee. I think nominations are almost as important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Although I am quite quietly chuffed the Irishman got
nothing.
Make a film people want to see.
Yeah, but you know, I think Martin Scorsese was almost in tears of like happiness, unless that's just what his face does. When Taika Waititi said to him,
"Oh yeah,
no, it's Bong Joon-ho, wasn't it?"
Yeah,
he said he quoted a quote from Martin Scorsese and like said how inspirational it was to his filmmaking journey. And Scorsese looked like he was tearing up. He's like, "Look at this young director coming up, who I've taught."
Yes.
So that was a wonderful moment.
Yeah. I'm really chuffed that Taika Waititi took home adapted screenplay though.
Yeah.
That film needed something, and that definitely deserved that.
He's such a bloody character, isn't he?
He really is. Look at the picture on the top of this winners list. He's the most charming filmmaker.
He's a beautiful man. Beautiful man. I think I fancy him.
Really?
Yeah.
He famous for his naps on set.
Really?
He would go away and disappear for an hour and just have sleep.
There was a sort of directors writers table thing where they were interviewing Bong Joon-ho, Taika Waititi, Sam Mendes,
all the nominees.
Yeah. And Quentin Tarantino. They're all going into so much detail about how they direct, what the set is like, what the what they had around and stuff. And he said when it was his turn, he goes, well, what I like to do is I like to get a couch, and then I will watch back some footage lying down kind of diagonally, because that's how I would watch the TV. So I just want to see, kind of hold a remote in my hand. I was like, oh, you're amazing.
Yeah, well, he's inspiration, is that man.
Yeah.
Always, of course, had the backlash of snubs and things, but I mean, there's a whole political thing that we won't touch on.
No. Someone else can do that.
So yes, I'm really looking forward to seeing Parasite.
Yeah.
I'm quite happy with most of the winners.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all there is to say.
Yeah.
Till next year.
Agreed.
And that was the show.
That was the show. Wonderful.
So yes, we've not dipped too much into Valentine's.
No.
I don't think we're really feeling it.
Good.
Yeah. But I have drawn another heart.
Oh, thanks, mate. Well done.
Do you know the heart?
Yeah.
Is actually a bum.
Yeah. That's what it means. Bum.
It's Venus's bum.
Venus's body.
The goddess of love.
Nice. Very good. Well, we're very, very close. I know we said every bloody week. We're nearly there at the end of Quaggers. We've just got the sound to do. The amazing Dave Lunt, who I would definitely recommend to anyone who wants anything colour graded. He does the colour grading for us. We've just got that back. And now it's just sound. And we have to do a weird liquid latex scene as well, don't we?
Yeah. We'll get that done. That'll be quite quick. The nice, just extra special effect we just throw in just because it needs something. So sound is a beast in itself, and I want to get it done and out of the way as soon as possible. It's annoying that I was ill this week because it meant I've done sod all on it. But yeah, we'll be done. And then premiere, we can announce that finally. If you want to see the poster, you can check it out on our website at www.holodellmedia.co.uk. And if you want to check out our new merchandise store, you can do that on Spreadshirt. Best thing to do for that is to go to, again, www.holodellmedia.co.uk and follow the link on the front page. Oh my gosh, we're selling out.
Shirts, hoodies, buttons.
We've got some Quaggers, concept art on there. What I would love to do, when we move into the next stage of content, to do regular, like, whatever we're doing that month, we'll get a new thing done.
Yeah.
So if anyone listening is an artist or wants to get their foot in the door, step up their own productivity, let us know, get in contact, because it'd be awesome to have someone like you on board and just plugging away at this stuff behind the scenes. Would be fantastic.
Amazing, yeah.
Shared opportunity. Again, if you like our stuff, please check us out on Patreon, www.patreon.com/holodellmedia, and follow us on Twitter at @screen_bucket or at holodellmedia.
Whoa.
God, there's so much to say.
Well done, Adam.
Oh my God. The key thing is, watch films, talk about them, engage with them, look locally as well. We don't do enough local stuff because our listenership's very spread out, but I think there's a lot of local stuff going on. It's worth having a look around.
Yeah, definitely. Support your local filmmakers, watch the local films. Yeah, indie film, love, joy.
Yes.
As it's Valentine's Day.
Oh my God.
Huh?
Whose turn is it to pick a film? Mine.
I think it's yours.
Right.
Well, okay, Adam goes to the shelf. He grabs a book. The book is titled The Pirates by George MacDonald Fraser.
Yes.
The Flashman Man, isn't it?
It is the Flashman Man.
Yes.
The Pirates is a very weird book. It's about it's kind of written like a pantomime.
Right.
On a boat, and there's people getting kidnapped, and I'm one of several people who own this book, who I know, who own this book, read it for a bit, and put it down again. It's quite a tricky one, but it's still good. Anyway.
I'm not sure which one.
So, I'm going to flick through the pages. Rob's going to tell me to stop. And
sorry, no, yeah, what's going on?
And then I will use that word to pick the film for next time. Okay.
Stop.
Okay.
Stop.
Behind.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Behind. Okay.
The full sentence is: as the Santa Cascara glide o'er the ultramarine surface, or the Carib Sea, for distant Cartagena on the main, while the crew were all forward watching the in-voyage puppet show,
God,
and the only dusky stewards hovered round the table, the ship's steel band waited concealed behind a canvas screen. The imperious Spanish half-pint emerged from the cabin, all demure delicacy in gown of scarlet satin, diamonds of price twinkling neath her mantilla.
No more.
A fan of black lace,
It's all the same sentence.
concealing her face south of those coyly downcast eyes.
Ugh.
Yeah, that was
one sentence.
That was one sentence.
Jesus.
Yep.
No.
So, behind.
So
it's
right.
going to be the pick for next time.
Well, looking forward to it. I hope it's got an arse in it.
We'll see.
Cool.
All right, well, take it easy, guys, and we'll see you in a fortnight.
Thank you.